Hey guys, well this is the Church of the Ascension of our Lord, and I filmed this before, but I was listening to Lee this morning on Flat Earth British Sub, and he was talking about these things and how they could blow up, you know, and round the back there's quite an intricate sort of like array of towers, but it's all below ground here as well, as you can see. So I thought I'd just go and have another little look at this machine. And if you, let's just say that you didn't know about Christianity and church architecture, etc., and didn't associate arched windows with churches, take that cross off the top. It just looks like some big old machine. Seriously. Anyway, I'll cross over. So these houses here are all the way below. This one has the door going under the things there, and this one, but I think they all do. Garden flats, they call it. This is what I want to show you. I don't know how good a view I'm going to get of it. I think I've filmed it before, but it's a spiral staircase going down, and that is down deep, man. He's dug this one really down. See? And I haven't got a great deal of film, and I don't want to use it all up. So this is the local sort of like boozer Labour Club. Bit of doorway going up there. It's been put in, and they've made themselves a nice little like sunken boozery here. So noisy. So here we are again. I've done this before, but every time I come up here these days, I just look at this thing and it just looks so like solid. See that there's been slippage. All down here, but the best evidence is on the other side, and I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to get it because I've missed a trick. I should have done it at Christmas. So kids are back at nursery now. Look at all this. Stonework's quite rough too. I wonder how old this is really. It's awesome sort of brickwork. And is that all as thick as that brickwork? I'd like to get in there. 1884. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have a look. See if I can film around the side. As we come into the end, there's loads of kids running around up there. See the tower, the circular end of it. Reminds me of something. Does it remind you of something? No graveyard, just this sort of bit of land. Right, I'm going to go over the road. I've done this before, but I think I had the same problem last time with the children. Here's one of the towers. then they sort of cross over. They sort of put on all these others. So they've got the big one there, and they've got a little one in there, another one there, another one there, and this bit built on here is all like, and the more you cobble on, I guess the better the absorption of sound will be, I don't know. So this bit here is the bit that's quite substantially below the ground. So did they build it like that, with all this below the ground here, or was it all on a level? Genuinely be glad to get home. I doubt if I'll be able to film if there's children here. You might remember this from before, but listening to Lee. Here you go. This here. It's like they couldn't be bothered with that bit there. Sheared, kept the wood up. This here may be as deep as that there. This is the behind bit. This is very interesting, like little door here. Window. In the road.
Hey guys, well I filmed that the other day as I've been doing more research on my area, and in particular that church at the top of the hill, because it's just so strange and just so foreboding looking. And I was looking at it the other day and thinking how much like a machine it looked, like almost like an ark or something like that. And then I was watching Lee on Flat Earth British Sub, and he was talking about the machine like quality of them, so I went up and did another little film, and then I thought I'd have a look and find some history. I'd already looked a bit into it, but I dug a little bit deeper this time. So it was it's the same old timeline, 1874, that its foundation stone was laid, and it was built to the designs of the architect James Brooks. Now this is a bit of an interesting guy. He's one of our architects. So he attracted attention early in his career for several large built brick churches in East London, St Michael and All Angels, blah 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 blah. The last two churches were built as part of the Haggerston church scheme. So I checked out the Haggerston church scheme. So St Mary Haggerston was an Anglican parish church built to the designs of John Nash in 1827 in what is now the London Borough of Hackney. It had an elaborate west front and a disproportionately tall tower. My cat's wondering why I'm talking and getting all excited. Move, she's in the way now. Right, so this is it. It was altered later in the 19th century by James Brooks as the first initiative of the Haggerston church scheme. So Brooks came in and changed it. The architect James Brooks was brought in to make alterations. So the first practical initiative was the provision of a chancel and sanctuary suitable for the contemporary high church ideas, blah blah blah. Architect James Brooks was brought in to make the alterations, and it made his name. He took windows out, put some pillars in, moved the beautiful stuff. He basically just sort of like made it very plain from being quite beautiful, and took all Nash's stuff out. Nash is another one of the big names of the time, and did the design for this. Now I got some photos saved. And this is it here. I mean, it's horrible. I'm not sure of the date of this, but it looks to me as if the windows are all blocked up. You saw in the film that here now you have that memorial to the war with Jesus on the cross. It's all in here. It's weird they've got that there now, because they've got a portable toilet in the same place now. How odd. Because we've been wondering why it's been there. Anyway, those steps are still there, all this is still there. And this is the architect's original drawing, allegedly. I mean, it looks quite beautiful, doesn't it? He had a tower in it, and it looks quite splendid. I mean, that looks just ghastly, doesn't it? And then we've got this. Now this, I think, was probably how it looked once upon a time, because this is, the date is 1876. I think this one was 75, that's his architect drawing. But that says 1876. I don't think it may be his style, I don't know, it might be the other view of it. But it's in a Look and Learn book. Now Look and Learn books, if it's out of a Look and Learn book, it might be off a site called Look and Learn. But Look and Learn back in the day used to have pictures like this to colour in and stuff. And I don't understand how an architect's drawing might have got into the public domain, and it's got people in as well, and I don't think he's got anything like that in here. I don't know. Could be. It just seems to have a different feel to it. But anyway, it didn't end up like that. Here's the inside. I've been in this church. It's freezing cold in there. It is so cold. I've been in a few times for carol services, and they do like one of those tabletop sales. I should go to one and do some filming. I think that's, yeah, that's my stone mirrors. So that's inside. That's James Brooks' original idea for the inside, and that's it of them. So now on Wikipedia they have this very flowery story about how the church was conceived by this Father John Bordeaux Wilkinson, who as a young man sat on Clapham Common and gazed upon the blue fields of lavender which made up the historic Lavender Hill. He dreamed that if ever he was called on to become a priest, it would be upon the Lavender Hill, where he will build a church for the faith to be proclaimed. Now every story about this church has got this whimsical romantic story about this priest sat on a hill and musing about having a church in amongst the lavender fields. So here it is. Again, these windows look blocked up. It's a different photograph from the last one. Circa 1890, so it had just been opened not for so long. Yeah, I don't know. So, the accounts of this place say that it was built on the grounds of a house called Pountney House, and there'd been nothing there. So they conceived of this church, and at this time Earl Shaftesbury's estate had recently been developed. Well, no, it hadn't. It was being developed. Much of it was used as housing for homeless soldiers returning from the Crimea, and for workers imported from the East End to maintain Clapham Junction Station, the busiest in the world in 1870. So the grounds of Pountney House were purchased out of a large benefaction made by the ladies. There was this bunch of women, benefactor types. So
the Shaftesbury estate dwellers, that's my estate, made it known that they wanted a church that would resemble those that they had left behind in the East End. So it was that the great Anglo-Catholic, so he was brought in, he did Haggerston, to build this. Now the thing is, they laid the foundation stone in 1874, but if you look at the Shaftesbury estate, the land was only purchased in 1872. On 3rd of August 1872, Lord, so it wasn't finished, and this is my magic estate. So it was built between 1873 and 1877 and comprises about 1,200 two-storey houses. Well, I'm still researching this place, but they're saying that all the people who lived here wanted a church that looked like the ones that they had left behind when they weren't even here, because they were still building the bloody place. And the other thing is, the estate layout and house designs were by the company's architect and surveyor Robert Austin, formerly a carpenter with the company. However, financial difficulties caused by poor accounting led to replacement of the directors of the company and a change of approach during the construction of the estate. Rents and lease prices were raised, excluding many lower paid workers who were originally intended to benefit, and the planned area of open space was built over. I also read elsewhere that they also sold quite a few off at that point, and mostly middle class people moved in, and not the really sort of like needy. So I think this whole place was a ruse. Anyway, more of that. Let's shut that. So this guy here was an early Reverend Canon of the place, and he established a shrine to St. Mary, I think, in there, which is really quite sort of famous. So I've recorded another bit of film just to tag on the end here, because what sort of like gets me about the place is the way that sorry, I should have kept it open. You have which is the one, this one. The church is on like, well, like that, and then it drops about 10 feet, and then you have that. Anyway, that's going to be in my second video, and I've just remembered what else I was going to read to you. That one. Yeah.
So, the new church. Right. The dramatic site proved to have certain drawbacks. Brooks discovered that he had to pour a disproportionate amount of available funds into the foundations of the new church. The unforeseen expense alarmed his clients and also prevented certain embellishments from being executed. This included the carving of the stone capitals, the projected tower with steeple, what is now the south porch, and an elaborately carved stone reredos, so the eventual building doesn't look anything like the architect's drawing. I bet I can't find a bit. But they talk about how James Brooks had a problem because it was built on a slope, the sloping site. The foundation stone, according to Henry Simmons, was situated under the altar of the temporary church. What temporary church? It's odd. The sloping site caused Brooks to spend far more than he had estimated. And discontent, yeah, sloping site, so they picked a sloping site. But when you look at the place, there's a photo here. Why didn't they just build it over a bit more? They could have left that off and just built it over a bit more, and left that bit off. Anyway, if you look at the next bit of film, you'll see what I mean, because it's just sort of like way down below. So it's on a sloping site, so he dug down to put part of the church below ground. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching.
Well, I've come back because I was doing some research today on the history of this place, and the original architect, like a lot of these architects, just threw in the towel quite early on because it was complicated to build because it's on a slope. So nobody's here today because it's Sunday. I might go around and get in there and have a look. So I've got gloves on, hang on. And I've already noticed that the brickwork on this side does seem to be quite battered. But it's a fair distance below ground, so he was building it on a slope. Is this what you call a slope? Like half the church built up here, and then this hall bit cobbled on here. And this is on the original plan as well, so it's not later. Don't understand why he felt he had to build this part as well, and if it was on a slope, why not just build a smaller... I don't understand. And this building isn't on a slope, this building is quite solidly on solid ground, as is this part here, which joins onto the church here, and then we have this almost like a breeze blocky wall there, which is probably in front of something else. I can't really see here. going to go and have a look at this part here from inside the church. Side here. And that's the bit I'm going to look at. It's all cracked here, the wall as well. You see that? I just don't understand this place. I'm puzzled. Hey guys, right, so I've come right round into the churchyard and up here against this bit of wall here. Let's get over and have a look. So I wonder if this carries on going down in as a tower and goes down all the way to the bottom there. God, I've got vertigo doing this, it's so low. Rose windows. Strange place to have a window, this pretty little window. And all these strange, like, well, I don't know, but big old place. Shit. Come on. Walking over a bush. Yeah. No graves here, no. It's a very small bit of land here. But definitely some crackage in the wall here. Which doesn't look good, does it? Standpipe. Okay, right.